So here is the latest update. I want to show you guys the current status of the new shop and how things are going, and let you know what's then my being closed for a couple more days. It's been a very big challenge moving from one house to another, just a mile away, but getting everything done and getting the other house prepped. And it's actually, that's been the biggest time consumer, has actually been me getting the other house ready, not so much with the work here at the new house, but in the last day, have really finally started been able to focus on things here. So just kind of give you a little quick tour of what we got going here. So I moved all my Tormek machines over. You can see I got three of them. I haven't decided whether I'm going to leave them on one of these work tables or not. That's still up in the air, but they're at least here. They're at the shop, and that's a plus. There's my Jet CBN grinder is over here on the pedestal stand. Here's my height adjustable 1x30 table. So that's finally over here. And then over here, I have the lasers are in. So on this tall table, that is the X-Tool F1 Ultra 20 watt fiber laser, which I hope to have up today and running. So that's one of my goals today, is because I've been using this thing the most of all of my lasers. So I want to get this one up first, because I do actually have two jobs still pending for that. Over here, this is the 20 watt, and right here is the 40 watt S1s. And I'm kind of configuring and seeing how I'm going to set these up so that they can vent outside. Been working on the shelving system. Over here, I have all of my scissor sharpeners and my hone, but haven't got that all squared away yet. So one of the delays here, I did find some problems with the electricity in here. Not major things, but stuff that you don't, definitely don't want to have. I found that this was reversed polarity. There was a short in this one up top here, and it also, everything on the right side of the garage had reversed polarity. And it was basically started with this one right here. And I fixed that yesterday with just, the only thing you have to do to fix reverse polarity is switch the wires around. It just means that someone put the neutral and wire on the wrong side. So you just switch it and that corrects everything. But this one was wrong, that one was wrong, and I don't think the one in the ceiling was wrong, but it definitely had a short. It had these old style push-in sockets. If you've ever seen those, it had no screws on it at all. It just where you take a wire and you stick it in the back and it just grabs it. And every electrician I've ever known hates those things, and I see why. This house was built in the 50s, and there's quite a few of them in here, and that's was the reason for that, was shorting out up there. So every once in a while I would use this and it would stop working, and I would actually have to get up on the ladder and go up there and jiggle that, and I would hear it arcing, so I knew I had to correct that right away. So we took that out, put a new socket in there, and that's all good to go now. It's working. It's not shorting anymore. Today I'm going to work on this one on this side. One of the things they did, they painted over all of the sockets. Makes me insane. I don't know why people do that. It's a pet peeve of mine, but it doesn't matter. I'm replacing everyone anyway, so they're all going, and I'm checking them all, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to work on this side. So I'm still debating on, and you guys let me know what you think. I'm thinking of having the lasers on one side of the garage and the sharpening stuff on the other, because I don't kind of want to mix up the dirty stuff with not that the lasers are clean, but they vent outside. But I'm thinking of moving all the sharpening to the right side and all the laser work and stuff to the left side. That's my current thought. I am going to try and meet with a heating air conditioning person at some point, and think I am seriously considering putting a mini split in here. I really want to do that, and it looks like we might do very well on the sale of our other house. So if that goes well, I should have the money to be able to do that, and it's something I would want to kind of get on right away. So I want to like insulate this and put that potential mini split in. But you can see over there's all the hoses from my old shop. I brought them over, and that's the one thing I think right now I'm just gonna kind of do temporary setup for everything until I know exactly how I want things to be, because as many of you guys probably know too, like you always end up changing stuff. You're like, oh, I'll put this here, and then you realize, hey, that's not the best spot for it. So right now, everything's kind of gonna be temporary, but I do love I love these tables that have casters. So I think I'm probably gonna get a few more of those, because I want to be able to just kind of move things around when I need to and have them in other spots, or if I want to film something, because you can see it looks a little cluttery still in here, but this is a lot of room. And it would be really nice to be able to, if I was filming something or showing something, move it to the middle of the room and film it right here in the middle. So that's why for now, I'm not going to do anything that's like totally permanent until I'm sure on exactly what I want that setup to be. Now, one other thing I want to correct in here, electrical wise, that I don't love, it's not a huge issue, but it is an important thing to consider when you have a shop, that I don't like that they did here. And I think in a lot of places, like this house was built in 1957. Today, I don't think a lot of places, the lighting in here and all the sockets are all on the same fuse. So if that trips, then you lose your lighting and you lose your power, which is never good in a shop. Now, I would be more concerned if it was a woodworking shop where I'm using saws and things like that. You certainly wouldn't want to be, cutting something and then lose your lights and your power to see, or, it's just not a good combination. So it's always best if you can have your lighting and your electrical power on two completely different fuses, which I think I will change that if I can. If it's a simple fix, I'm going to try and see if I can get that corrected at some point, because yeah, I just don't want to have where I lose something, or if one thing trips something, that the entire shop goes dark. And I had to correct that even in my other shop, in my old house. The air conditioner that I had, that is right there, used to trip, and then when it tripped, it tripped everything in the shop. Now, one way I got around that was because I did have, and I still have, many things like this. So high power extensions, and I really like ones that have individual switches. So this is nice, because when these trip, sometimes you get only one tripping and it doesn't trip everything. So these protected outlets are kind of nice. So you can either shut everything off at once, or if you need to shut certain things off, if you're in a shop where you might have something that draws a lot of power, these are nice to be able to kind of turn things on and off, as opposed to like the one right above it here, which was original to this shop, where if it trips, it kills everything in here. So I do like these, and you can get these pretty easily nowadays. I got most of mine on Amazon. But I really do like these when you can control when each one of these is controlled separately. So that's pretty much the status of things in here today. I did move my two big toolboxes over, which I normally put my Tormex on, and I probably am going to move those. So I think what I want to do is move my Tormex back to the toolboxes, and I think I want to set up the F1 Ultra and the conveyor belt, which I've never even shown you guys, on one of these longer tables. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Here's the conveyor belt for the F1 Ultra. I've never even unpacked it because I never had room to use it anywhere. But now we have the room. And back there, we have an air cleaner. And and that's a 3D printer, that another thing that I've never unpacked, haven't used, because in the old shop there just wasn't any space for it. So things are coming along pretty good. And that's the status of things today. My goal is to open this Thursday. So I'm trying to be back in full operation on Thursday. The customers have been great. Everyone's understood really well. Yesterday I went to my hardware store that's up the road from my old house and gave them all new business cards, because I've mentioned before, they usually send me people pretty regularly. So they were real appreciative. I gave directions to the new house, which is pretty easy because it's, like I said, it's a mile more. So it's just a little bit more down the road and two left-hand turns, and you're at the new location. But I did stop in to see them, let them know that I would be back up on Thursday, and they told me that they had people already that they wanted to send, but they saw that I was moving, and that they did appreciate me coming in and giving them a new stack of business cards. So one thing to think about if you do move, if you are established like that, and places that you have connections with, you might want to reach out to them if you're going to a new location. The other thing that was giving me some challenges, I was hoping to use this iMac for all the laser stuff. And unfortunately, the move here somehow crashed the hard drive, and it's still working. There's a solid state drive in there that's the startup drive, but my actual hard drive in that machine went kaput, which did not make me happy, because I lost a lot of stuff that was on that, especially program wise. But the worst thing was, I really wanted to use that to run all the lasers and stuff in the shop, because it's a nice big screen to work on. I am going to see if I can get that back up, but in the meantime, that's just going to have to wait until I have more time, because it's probably going to have to go to a shop to see if I can get that running again, because it's an older iMac. It's a 2014, but at the time I got it, it was state of the art. So it's got like 32 gigs of RAM. It's got an 8 terabyte hard drive. And unfortunately, if you know anything about Apple, like a few years ago, this was right at the end of when they switched from 32 gig to 64, or 34 gig, whatever it was, to 64 gig. And it doesn't work with certain things, especially Photoshop was the one that was very kind of disappointing. They only started supporting 64 gig machines. So I have this really great iMac that was working until crashing. And the problem is that I lost it, reset all the way back to, like, I think Mavericks or something, and I cannot get it to update the software. I think I was running like Yosemite or something on there, and it's not taking it. It won't get past iOS 10.9.5. So if anybody's run into that before and knows the solution for it, please let me know, because I would love to use this machine. And if there's a simple solution to it that I'm missing, I don't know. But like I said, with that hard drive not running properly, I might have to bring it into a shop and see what can be done there. See if we can get it to some software that I can use. But that's it. All right, guys. So I will let you know. I'll keep you updated on some more stuff as it goes. But hopefully Thursday morning, I should be back up and sharpening. And I'll show you some more then. and probably hopefully be back to doing more regular YouTube videos and things, as the shop will hopefully be pretty functional at that point, and not the big mess that you still currently see it in, with stuff all over the floor, and we still have a lot of stuff that needs to go in the house, but it's coming along. All right, everybody, thanks for checking this out, and I will catch y'all later.